guys, it's Christy here from the Stamp Cycle, and welcome to my first video of 2017. This is a fantastic time of year because the Occasions Catalog along with the Sale-a-bration catalog just released on January 4th. So the stamp set we're going to be using today is called Delicate Details. You can get this stamp set free with a $50 order. That's before shipping and handling. So this is a perfect time to shop, host a workshop, and also join Stampin' Up! Because you get tons of free stuff during Sale-a-bration. The stamp set is a photopolymer stamp set, so I'm going to be using my Misty tool today to create a really beautiful background with all those detailed lacy stamps that come in the stamp set. So I'm going to line this is a piece of Whisper White. It's cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to line that up into my Misty, and I'm going to use the grid lines in the back to get these stamps even. These are like long strips of kind of lacy, detailed looking stamps, and I'm just going to line all of those up here on my cardstock using that grid line to make sure they're nice and straight. And then what I'll be able to do is pick these stamps up with my Misty door and stamp all of them at the same time, and then I'll be able to just move my cardstock up and then stamp the pattern again. You could use a clear block for this. You do not have to have a Misty tool. You could line all of your stamps up on your craft mat, or I could use the grid lines and my craft mat behind the Misty there, line all of those up, pick them up with my acrylic block and stamp them that way. I just like using the Misty because it gives me a lot of different options. I can stamp these images multiple times if my first attempt is not to my liking. I just really love this Misty tool, but you do not have to have the Misty tool. So I'll just stamp it down there the first time, and then I'm going to move the cardstock up. I can see where my stamps stamp there on the edges because the stamp is a little bigger than my cardstock. It makes it really easy to line up where to stamp along the bottom. And I find on the Misty tool that I just bring in a cloth, you see it right there, and just use that to rub all over my stamps to get even pressure. And look at that beautiful background. I love this stamp set. So now I just wanted to add some splatters. So I'm just going to take my ink pad, push it down onto a clear, just acrylic block. Then I'm just going to grab a small paintbrush and some clean water and just mix up that ink and then just flick it onto my background. I did this with the Tip Top Taupe. That's what I used to stamp that lacy pattern. And then I will also bring in an additional color. I'm going to be using Sweet Sugar Plum to also add some ink splatters to the back of this background piece. I'm bringing in this Sweet Sugar Plum ink here for splatters because we are going to be using that color for the flower here that you'll see that we're going to cut out here in a couple minutes. But I just love the ink splatters on top of that lacy background. Thought it really gave some additional interest to the back of the card. So now we're going to use this beautiful die set. This is the Flourish Thinlits. This is from the annual catalog. And we're going to use that flower image there and cut out that flower image out of some Sweet Sugar Plum. And then we're going to take the larger leaf and we're going to cut the leaf twice out of some mint macaron. And I'm just going to run those over to my Big Shot, run them through, use my pokey tool to get out all the little pieces, and then they're ready to go. Now, I wanted a background to this this really delicate die cut here. So I am using this spray adhesive. I'm going to take it over to a shoebox, spray the entire back of this die cut. I'll bring it back, and then I'm going to apply it down to this piece of Blushing Bride cardstock. And then I'm just going to use my paper snips to cut around the die cut so that now we have this beautiful Blushing Bride background to our die cut. And I just thought this was really pretty, and it added a lot. The key to getting to cutting out your die cuts like this is to angle your scissors using the blade and angle it to go right underneath that die cut. So when you're cutting the Blushing Bride, you're kind of cutting it in under the die cut so that it's not sticking out. I hope that makes sense. And that way you can't even tell that that's how you got the background to your die cut. So now I'm just going to cut down this background piece. I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off each side, so from the top and the side, and this is going to give me a panel that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, I do believe is the final measurements. And then now I'm going to just adhere this little flower arrangement onto the front of my card using some foam adhesive. So I'm just going to take this 3M humongous foam roll that I get from Amazon, and I'm going to use the foam adhesive to hold down those leaves on the back of this card so that I don't have to worry about gluing down those leaf die cuts. They're very detailed and glue can seep out, so this is a great way to be able to adhere the whole piece down together and have them nice and secure. So now we're going to just work on our sentiment. This is another new stamp set that came out in the Occasions catalog. This is called So in Love. This is a bundle. It's at the very back of the Occasions catalog. It comes in a bundle. If you buy the bundle together, you get 10% off, but you get this beautiful stamp set and then these absolutely gorgeous detailed dies. They are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Love this set, but the stamp set in itself is really gorgeous. It is a rubber cling mount, or you can get it in wood, I do believe. And we're going to use the A Day to Celebrate stamp. I'm just going to stamp that down on a piece of vellum using Versamark ink. I am going to treat the vellum with my embossing buddy so that I don't get any stray embossing powder anywhere. I want to get a really nice, crisp, embossed sentiment. So I'm just going to stamp down there with Versamark, and then I'll apply some of the copper embossing powder. That copper embossing powder is in the annual catalog. It is beautiful. I love this color. So I'm just going to pour that onto my vellum, heat set it, and then our sentiment's ready to go. So I want to take that piece of vellum and banner one of the ends. And then, so how I do that is I just make a cut down the center of that piece of vellum, and then I just cut in from the corners, and that creates a very quick and easy banner end. And now I want to just figure out where on the front of my card I want my sentiment. Then I'm going to lay the vellum down and use my bone folder to create a score mark there on the vellum, and that makes it really easy to fold that piece of vellum around to the back. I'll use some fast fuse to secure that vellum down onto the back of the card. And I like doing my vellum like this. I don't really like the look of it just cut at the side. I like having the vellum kind of tuck around the back. And then I'll just use a little bit of multi-medium matte glue to just adhere that piece down to my flowers so that the sentiment stays to the front. I like this multi-medium matte because you really can't see it through the vellum if you put it right behind that embossed sentiment. So now I'll just use some Tombow multi-purpose glue to adhere this panel to an A2 top folding card base made out of tip-top taupe cardstock. And then that finishes my card. Now, for the other sample that I have, I added some additional bling to the card. I put some heart-shaped sequins in kind of these pink colors. I think that sequin pack is still available in the annual catalog, but you can see here the cute little heart sequins that I added. So you could do it with or without the sequins. So thanks guys for joining me today, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye!